I have been growing an Apple smart home for the last 5 years now, and I've used many different devices by various brands. Some I still use to this day, and some I actually regret buying. So in this video, I'm going to share with you the smart home devices that I regret buying over the last 5 years and what I would recommend buying instead. Category number 1 is smart bulbs, and I've used a ton of smart bulbs that work with Apple Home over the last 5 years. I started out with smart bulbs by Yeelight, and I used them for many years, but I started having reliability issues and would constantly get the no response message in HomeKit, even after resetting the bulbs multiple times. So I ditched Yeelight and tried out smart bulbs by Nanoleaf, a cheaper alternative and supposedly more reliable since it supports Thread, a newer smart home standard that's faster to respond and has better range than Wi-Fi connected devices. But I often had many Nanoleaf bulbs struggle to stay connected to a required Thread border router like a HomePod Mini, and I often found Nanoleaf to be less reliable and slower to respond than my Wi-Fi connected smart bulbs Yeelight. So I quickly left Nanoleaf and picked up a third brand, LIFX. I replaced all 10 of my light bulbs with LIFX, and they worked great in HomeKit until I made a small change on my router and each of the bulbs dropped connection. So I had to reset up all those bulbs in all the groups and in all the scenes one by one. And let me tell you, that was not fun. I have some Philips Hue downlights, and when I made a change on the router, none of my Philips Hue bulbs went down, since they connect to the Philips Hue bridge and not my main network, unlike LIFX that connects to Wi-Fi and not a bridge. So any Wi-Fi related issues did not affect the Philips Hue bulbs. So I bit the bullet, ditched LIFX, and went full on with Philips Hue. Since Philips Hue bulbs talk to the Philips Hue bridge over Zigbee, Philips Hue has been very reliable and super fast to respond in the Apple Home app. As much as I have dissed Philips Hue on this channel, mainly for the price, because I've always used more affordable smart bulbs and they have worked just fine, until they don't. But now I can honestly say that Philips Hue is totally worth the price and I've not had any issues. Category number 2 is smart cameras, and the smart home camera that I regret buying is the Logitech Circle View camera. The Logitech Circle View camera is a weatherproof camera made exclusively for HomeKit, meaning the camera can work indoors and outdoors, so the camera can get wet and still work fine. The video quality was subpar for $160, especially at night, even though Logitech claims to have superior clarity in the dark. This doesn't look too superior to me. Because it's made exclusively for HomeKit, it does only support HomeKit secure video and no local storage. So the camera and the power cable are weatherproof, but the cable is only 10 feet and not removable, and the power adapter is rated for indoor use only. Wait just a minute, so the camera works indoors and outdoors, but the power supply only works indoors. What? Instead, I bought 2 separate indoor and outdoor cameras, the Eufy Indoor Pan and Tilt and an outdoor Eufy Cam 2C camera. Video quality is much better on these cameras. They support HomeKit and HomeKit secure video, but my favorite part is the Eufy Indoor camera supports local storage for 24/7 live recording. With the pan and tilt camera, you can pan and tilt around the room to see all of the room. Of course, this feature is not available in the Apple Home app, but it is nice to have. What's also nice to have is an outdoor camera that lasts months on battery life. This way, I don't have to worry about running a wire or hoping the wire is going to be long enough and then figure out how to make this wire look clean. That's just a mess. Now with a wireless camera, you do have to get on the ladder and take it down each time to recharge and then get back on the ladder to put it up. But I only have to do this every few months, so it's really not that big of a deal to me. Category number 3 is a contact sensor. And the brand of contact sensor that I regret buying is not what you would expect. It's the Eve door and window sensor. Now what I do like about Eve is they include extra spacers for the sensor in the box. So if your door and door frame are not flush, this allows your sensors to be flush with each other for accurate readings. The Eve door and window sensor supports Thread, and like I mentioned earlier in this video, Thread is supposed to allow for fast response times and stronger reliability. But I did not experience this. And although Eve was quick to respond sometimes, I had many issues with the Eve sensor staying connected or reporting accurate results. The sensor would often say that it was open when it was really closed, or closed when it was really open. I had to factory reset this contact sensor multiple times to finally get it to read correctly. Though, when it did work, it was on par with a car's contact sensor, the fastest and most reliable sensor I've ever tested. So I ditched Eve and went full on with Aqara and bought many door and window sensors from Aqara and scattered them all throughout my house. Aqara is easily my favorite HomeKit brand out there. Not only are they very affordable, which makes it easy to build out your smart home, they have been the most reliable brand I've ever used. Aqara does require one of their Aqara hubs, each hub adding value to your smart home by having their own specific set of features, like an LED light, a built-in security system, a hardwired connection, or even a camera. The door sensor connects to the Aqara hub over Zigbee 3.0, which is slightly faster than Thread and has been rock solid in my smart home. Category number 4 is light strips. And the light strip that I regret buying is the LIFX Lightstrip. The LIFX Lightstrip is an addressable light strip with 16 color zones, meaning multiple zones can be painted on the light strip at once. LIFX has a gallery of special effects to choose from, and these can be synced over to the Apple Home app as well, though it is pricey at almost $100 for about 6.5 feet. The reason I regret buying LIFX is because I have found a much more affordable option that works just as well or even better than LIFX. And that is the Onvis Chameleon K1 light strip. It's less than half the cost of LIFX for 6.5 feet and has 20 color zones versus LIFX with only 16. With Onvis, you can paint your own design on the light strip, then sync this in the Apple Home app to use in your automations or use the Onvis pre-made special effects. Although Onvis is not as bright as LIFX, they are very similar in color accuracy. So if you wanted to put a light strip behind a TV or just for general backlighting, Onvis works really well. What smart home devices do you regret buying in your smart home? Let me know down in the comments section below, and here are some comparison videos of a bunch of different smart home devices. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.